our first video log prompt. I'm currently in the van right now on the way to Athens, Ohio for a basketball clinic. As you can see, one of our officials is in the back on his phone, and there's Justin. And Nick's driving. So this week's reading, I think, was really interesting because it basically touches a little bit on a lot. I wanted to focus mainly on the articles because I know that some people might not have the books, so I wanted to touch some on those. The first one I read, Developing the Whole Student, the Collegiate Ideal by Wolf Wendell and Marty Rule. It was really interesting because it kind of touched on 3 different theories, but it emphasized on the Chickering's theory, the Aston's involvement theory, and I think it's Tinto's theory. But developing the student as a whole, when we come into contact with these students, we're influencing their life. So I was kind of curious as to, after you read this article, what do you think it means to develop the student as a whole? Ways to educate the whole person. Something I really like in Chickering's theory, which is also touched in the Using Development Theories as Conceptual Frameworks of Leadership Education article, it's touched in that as well, or not touched, it goes into more detail. Developing competence, managing emotions, moving through autonomy towards interdependence, developing mature relationships, establishing identity, developing purpose, and developing integrity. Establishing identity is a huge one because we talk a lot about that. How these students come to college, they find themselves, and there's another one of our officials. I thought that was really interesting. Physical and psychological development, the Aston's involvement theory. A student devotes to academic experience is positively related to the impact of college on that student. So a lot of times I've done plenty of presentations where at the end of my presentation I tell students to be active on campus because it's proven the more active a student is on campus, the more involved they are, the higher the rate is that they'll continue their education or they'll finish out their education. And then because of Aston explained that we have more on-campus activities. And working students, it was interesting to me that working students in any department on campus have a higher rate of staying in college or finishing and get their degree. The Tinto's theory, students are influenced by interactions. That was really interesting because, it makes sense. A lot of it makes sense. Students are influenced by the interactions they have on campus, whether it be with members of another group, of another student organization, of a club sport, an athletic team. It helps them develop as a person. And then it really emphasizes on the importance of co-curricular activities. So I want to know, I'll get to that in a minute. And then in the Using Development Theories as Conceptual Frameworks in Leadership Education, this one went into more detail on Chickering's theory, touched again on that. And I really liked the limitations of student development theories in leadership education because you see all these theories and they're really great. They've really narrowed down most of them. But we have to, as professionals, we still have to realize that not every student is the same. Not every student is going to take in information like another. And a lot of these student development theories are based in the field of psychology, which can tend to be a problem as well. I won't say the whole quote. One of my favorite quotes is in this paper, or this article. The implication of the process for leadership development is that leadership educators must pay attention to the personal, individual aspects of development, as well as design intentional environment that provide the optimal level of support and challenge to spur development. So that's what we're here for. We're here for these students to develop, grow. When they leave us, they're ready for the real world. They're ready to go out and find a job. It really touched a lot on the leadership identity development model. Identity is probably the most important aspect of leadership development, and Hall stated that. And I completely agree. Identity is who you are. So, for the prompts for this week, like I said before, what do you think it means to develop, sorry, it's shaking, develop the student as a whole? What is your definition of develop the student as a whole? Tinto's theory, do you have any examples of students that you know that have been influenced by academic and social relationships? Like I said, it could be anything, obviously, classroom, social life, and one thing that was covered in the article that I found shocking was that students now in college the average age is 24. You're seeing less and less students that are coming into college as 19-year-olds, and because the average age now is 24 or older. And another thing it said in the article was how I think it was students aren't necessarily as prepared when they come to college now as they have been in the past. So I kind of just want to see what you think about that. And I know this might be some people's first time doing a video prompt, responding to the prompt, but so that's why I kind of threw out some general things. But again, what do you think it means to develop a student as a whole? Do you have any examples of students or situations that students have been in that